Just ahead on Carolina Impact, taking care of yourself is the key to living a healthy life. And these days, technology can often help. We'll find out how it's making a difference with some folks dealing with diabetes. And we recently celebrated Veterans Day. Many vets struggle with transferring their military skills into civilian jobs. We'll show you an organization helping vets with the transition. And boomers, listen up and dust off those pom-poms. You may want to join the Silver Foxes. We'll introduce you to them. Don't go anywhere. Carolina Impact starts right now. Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Amy Burkett, and this is Carolina Impact. Did you know 30 million Americans live with diabetes, a condition that demands day-to-day control and management? It presents a constant struggle to balance food, insulin, exercise, and lots of numbers. These days, technology is improving rapidly and helping folks better manage their condition so they can avoid the complications like blindness, kidney failure, and even amputation. November is Diabetes Awareness Month. In fact, today is World Diabetes Day. Carolina Impact's Stacy Sims talks technology with us.
Savannah, hello.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Nice to see you.
Savannah is 14 years old and has been living with type 1 diabetes for 3 years. Her doctor has type 1 as well.
Are you feeling okay today?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Jacob Mieszczek was also diagnosed as a teenager, but diabetes technology has come a long way since then.
I remember having a home meter and was very lucky to have a home meter.
Pat Higgins has type 2 diabetes. She works in the Charlotte office of the American Diabetes Association.
The technology has been amazing that has come along now and makes it a lot easier for everyone to manage their diabetes. And it's really now a technology that you can sync up with your computer and keep track of all kinds of information that I couldn't with the first meter that I used. It was strictly a monitor.
Type 1 diabetes used to be called juvenile diabetes, but it can be diagnosed at any age. It means your body produces no insulin, the hormone needed to break down sugar into energy. Type 2 diabetes was called adult onset. Now more children and teens are being diagnosed. With type 2, your body either resists the effects of insulin or doesn't produce enough insulin to maintain a normal blood sugar level. Like thousands of Americans, I have diabetes in my family. My husband has type 2 and my son has type 1. A piece of technology we use all the time, my phone. We help my son keep track of what he's eating and take pictures. It's really helpful when it comes to babysitters or sleepovers or even school lunches. Lynette Steinman is a certified diabetes educator.
I've heard it described as if it's a bag of popcorn in the microwave. That back in the 80s, we had the first few pops of popcorn, and now things are popping so rapidly.
Everyone with diabetes uses a meter to check their blood sugar, often several times a day. Today's meters are faster, need less blood, and are more accurate than a generation ago.
I needed a drop of blood that was almost as large as my fingernail. It took 45 seconds to get that reading, which felt like an eternity when you were concerned about a low blood sugar or a high blood sugar.
Now a reading takes a tiny drop of blood and just 5 seconds. All people with type 1 and many with type 2 need to inject insulin.
Instead of using syringes that we have to sharpen the needle with and that we have to boil the syringe, we now have disposable syringes if that's the way that we want to go. We have insulin pens that are very easy to use.
This is a newer way to inject, mostly for people with type 2, called the Vigo. It's a very basic and disposable insulin delivery device, sometimes called a patch pump. You change it every day, and instead of taking a shot, you press the button on the side.
And for some people who might forget to bring their insulin with them for lunch or for that special party or the wedding that they went to, this is always with you.
Lynette also showed us some more advanced insulin pumps.
This is actually a meter remote for a pump. This is a meter and a remote control for a pump.
An insulin pump is attached to the body with a flexible plastic catheter that sits just under the skin. Some insulin is given automatically all day long, and the user gives more when needed for meals or high blood sugars. Full disclosure, I am a paid blogger for Animas Corporation, which makes one of these pumps, but there are many different kinds on the market.
And these remote controls are nice in the sense that they will communicate that information directly to the pump without having to pull the pump out of a pocket or out of a specific hiding place that somebody might be have the pump tucked away.
Do you know which food groups have the carbohydrates in them?
Debbie Gerasi is a diabetes educator with type 1 who wears a pump and a continuous glucose monitor.
The sensor, it's getting all of those that you possibly can't get. So especially in the middle of the night, a lot of times that's the most troublesome time, worrying about low blood sugars when you can't respond sometimes. So that will beep you and let you know if you're running too high or too low, but it really makes such a big difference with alerting you.
Managing diabetes takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, and there are some days you can do everything right and still get not so great results. The next big step forward in diabetes technology could make care, especially for people with type 1, a little more automated. It's the closed-loop system, also called the artificial pancreas. It's not a transplant, it's outside your body. Basically a pump and a continuous glucose monitor that work together to read blood sugar and give insulin as needed. It's currently in clinical trials. But even something as simple as a free app can make a big difference in diabetes management.
One of my favorite is the Calorie King, and it provides you with information about calories and fat and carbohydrate amounts in food, and I think it's great that it's free.
Many groups are working toward a cure for the different types of diabetes, but the hope is that as technology moves forward, managing the difficult day-to-day balancing act of diabetes will become a bit easier. And teens like Savannah can spend less time thinking about counting carbs and checking blood sugar and more time on everything else. For Carolina Impact, I'm Stacy Sims reporting.
Thanks so much, Stacy. For more information about diabetes, contact the American Diabetes Association at diabetes.org, or you can contact the Juvenile Diabetes Research Fund at jdrf.org. Well, when veterans come home, there's celebrations and joy and a time of adjustment. We often spend time hearing from vets who returned home decades ago, but tonight we wanted to explore what resources are available to help newly returning vets find good civilian jobs in this slowly recovering economy. Carolina Impact reporter Jack Brayboy has more.
They put flags in the ground last week at CPCC to commemorate Veterans Day, to honor the close to 7,000 men and women who have lost their lives serving our country since 9/11. But the CPCC commitment to our vets goes well beyond a holiday recognition.
Financial aid status by year. You can click on your financial aid award letter.
The college is home to its Center for Veterans Resources and Military Families, where they serve roughly 2,000 vets looking to further their education.
Some of the services that we do offer, we offer career services, we offer professional development, we also offer counseling. So we have licensed counselors that is free to the public as well as to the student veterans on campus. We also have a computer lounge, a computer lab, and we also bring in some community partners once or twice a week, just to be here as a resource for the veterans that's entering the center.
Meet 27-year-old Justin Torres. He's been enlisted for 4 years.
I am a 68 Whiskey, which is a combat medic in the United States Army National Guard. I went on a mission and we leveled some beaches to help the local armies train up their people. We worked with local armies. Myself, I spent some time in Kuwait, and part of our unit went to Afghanistan. But most of my time was in a battalion aid station in Kuwait, serving the local nationals as well as my own battalion members. Coming back home definitely is difficult. I didn't expect it to be as difficult as it was, honestly. I spent a lot of time, kind of thinking. We came back in the summertime, so it gave me some time to enroll in college and everything, and it gave me a lot of time to think of what I actually wanted to do with my life.
What was the hardest part?
The hardest part being back home is honestly getting to know my children again. We were gone for over a year with the pre-mob, demob, and the actual overseas time, and my children, they grew up. I have 3 children and they're younger, so coming back and then seeing them talking and walking, it was difficult for me.
Justin says the discipline of his Army training has served him well as he transitions to the classroom.
Here at CPCC, I would like to apply to the nursing program, which I'm going to do here very soon. Obviously get accepted and finish. I'd like to finish strong and, go on and finish my bachelor's, and you know, just work in a hospital around here, you know, kind of just experience Charlotte the way I think it should be experienced, you know, not having to struggle, not having to worry about, you know, money or school or anything. I just want to have a career and get started with, I guess, the American dream.
CJ, all right.
It didn't take long to see that 61-year-old Carlton Jones is really popular among his fellow students at CPCC. He's a 21-year veteran with multiple stops in Germany and Korea, primarily working on missiles during his tour of duty. Like Justin, he knows all about family sacrifices.
So your son was born while you were on the plane
en route to Korea.
Wow.
So I was in Korea like 11 months and 20-some days before I ever seen my son. The one I really liked about it was the reverse mortgage.
I've been driving trucks for 23 years. I still drive. I drive for YRC now. I was sent here by the Department of the Army Veterans because I have a bad back and bad knees. So I am on I'm transitioning to what you call a voc rehab. So they were trying to find me a career that I could get in that it wouldn't be so bad on my back and knees. So I took a lot of tests and I tested out real well with dealing with people. So I ended up in the human service field. If you had asked me this 5 years ago that I'll be sitting here getting ready to graduate from college in 2014, I would have said, man, you must be crazy. But since I've been here, I've met a lot of people here on campus. I enjoy all my instructors. They've been real swell to me. If you need help, this is the place to come to get help.
They're in the session right now downstairs.
Meanwhile, Riggins, who himself is a veteran, says it's critical that all of these veterans/students come to realize their value to the workforce and the community.
And what we want to make sure we do is we just want to keep that fire lit. I mean, a great number of our veterans and military people are coming in to see us right when they're getting out of the military and the light bulb is still on. And what we want to do is continue to keep that light bulb burning bright and keep them focused on the goal they're trying to achieve.
I'm hoping that this will transcend down to the younger generation, that they say, well, if this old guy can go to school, shoot, I need to be up in school getting on my A game too.
What have you learned about yourself? What have you found out about yourself that you didn't already know?
I'm a good person. I found out that I'm a good person. I can be likable, I can be outgoing, and you realize that we're all just people. You know, no matter where you're from, we're all just people, and we all want the same thing, to be happy, ultimately to be happy and successful, I think.
For Carolina Impact, I'm Jack Brayboy reporting.
Thanks so much, Jack. And a thank you to all of the veterans who have served our great country. Well, it's time for a little bit of fun now. I have often been called someone who loves the sport of shopping. I've tried many times to make shopping an Olympic sport, but I've failed. However, I have found the holy grail in Christmas shopping. And I had a chance earlier this week to go out to the Southern Christmas Show. Let's take a look. Well, I am incredibly excited about my very first Southern Christmas Show. Now, they've been going on for 46 years, but since I'm new to the area, I need a special tour guide. David Zimmerman, president of the show, is joining me now. I'm so grateful for your time, David.
Great to have you here. We're setting up as we're producing this, but it's going to be a great show.
And we had elves in the background working furiously to get Christmas Tree Lane completed.
We have hundreds of people working furiously to get ready for the show.
Something you've been doing your entire life?
Yes, it's a family business, Southern Shows, so this is one of our many events, and I've been involved in this all my life, really, you're right.
And you love Christmas? You have to love Christmas.
Christmas is my favorite time of year, and I get to enjoy 12 days of it before most people do.
And these trees are incredible, and so many people get ideas, and as I understand, they come back year after year after year.
Oh, absolutely. We've had many folks who tell us, well, I've been to every show since 1968, so it's a tradition for many folks, and many people say, hey, I used to come with my grandmother, and now I'm bringing my grandchildren, so that kind of thing.
So I had to lure you over here on the other side of Christmas Tree Lane because I have never in my life seen a cupcake Christmas tree, but I have a new idea to decorate this year.
Well, we kind of handpicked these designers for Christmas Tree Lane to give people ideas, and that's a lot of what the show is about, to give people ideas and inspiration for designing and decor in their own home.
You know what? Talking about own home, you have a lot set up, little home decor areas. Let's go take a seat and talk a little bit more about the great things you have going on here.
Yes, we also work with interior designers throughout the region, and they'll come in, and we also have some interior design rooms, one of which is still in progress going here, but we can sit here and talk.
What's your favorite part about the show?
Well, I'm a guy, so my favorite part is all the food. so there is, I mean, we have hundreds of companies here with everything strudel to roasted almonds to you name it, rum cake, it's all here.
And I understand it, and many of our friends and neighbors are here too. You get over 100,000 people in a couple-week period?
That's right. Over the 12 days, we'll have over 100,000, and folks come from all over the region, all over, even outside the region, and they come every year.
How many square feet of exhibit space?
It's about 7 acres indoors. So
7 indoor acres. So I can call this my weekend exercise.
Absolutely, and a lot of folks come several days. So it's kind of a major event for a lot of folks.
Tradition probably plays a big role in it. There's always something new exhibitors each year, but the tradition of coming with family and friends and celebrating the holidays and finding that gift that's just right for that difficult person to buy for?
Absolutely, and that's what this show is really about, is everything here pretty much is things you can't find in the mall. It's a great place to buy for your cousins and your aunts and your ball coaches and those kind of folks. A lot of $20 type gifts are here.
What else do you think is exciting for people to understand, and maybe what's new this year?
Well, we theme the show differently every year, and you'll see a brand new interest when you're coming to the show. It's Oh, What Fun It Is the theme this year, so we're excited about that, and we're really just trying to talk about what fun people have when they come to the show.
But one of the things I noticed also was the glockenspiel. That's a staple?
That's been here, oh gosh, at least 20 years. So it's and we always keep adding to the show every year, keep coming up with new things, and some of them stay and some of them come back every once in a while, so we have fun with it.
What do you hear most frequently from those out-of-town guests?
I think a lot of folks are used to their shows in their cities, but what people don't realize is this is the largest holiday show in the nation and the best attended. So folks who are used to their little craft show in their town where they're from come here and are kind of amazed at how large it is and how much variety there is.
And you're talking by the busloads people come in. You'll have buses from all over?
We have tour groups come. We have a lot of church groups come. The Sunday school class will load up the church bus and come here, and they have a great time.
As we walk around, I noticed the showboat this year. Is that one of the newer displays? That's amazing.
That's just one of our example of what one of our exhibitors does. That's just one exhibitor you saw, and they just go all out to make this a fun event for everybody coming.
And we talked a little bit, I saw folks who even have things that are maps, that you can find a map of your town where you grew up and trace it. Now, I would have to say that would be a unique gift.
Oh, absolutely. And we really go out of our way to go out and find exhibitors. And we have a long waiting list of people who want to be in the show, but we really pick through them and find the folks who have things you can't find other places and the things that are not already in the show, which is hard to do when you've got 500 different companies exhibiting here.
500 different exhibitors.
Yes.
I noticed as we were walking around touring, I've been to Colonial Williamsburg, and I noticed something from there, the Christmas mouse. And they've got a big display as well. So while it's my first time to the show, I saw something that I could relate to that I always love when I'm in Colonial Williamsburg to go to the Christmas mouse. So they've got a huge exhibit of dolls and just everything.
They basically create their Williamsburg store here at the show. So it's amazing what they do.
Incredible. And there's vineyards too represented here?
Yes, we invite North Carolina vineyards to come participate in the show, and we have I think about a dozen here this time. And people really enjoy tasting everything. North Carolina wineries have come a long way in the last 20 years, many more around the state. And it used to be the muscadines and that kind of thing, but now there's Cabernets, there's you name what your type of wine you like, and they have it now, so it's fun.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Everyone talks about, I've heard a lot of talk about the crayons on the wall.
Right, that's just part of our opening. That's part of our Oh, What Fun It Is. And our display, our opening this year, our interest this year is when you think about Christmas and being fun, for kids anyway, the funnest thing is waking up Christmas morning, jumping in, opening up your packages. So we've trying to create that here at the entrance for the show this year.
David Zimmerman, president of Southern Christmas Show. We're so grateful you let us get a little sneak peek, but I look forward to coming back and seeing it in all its beauty.
Well, it's going to be a wonderful show. Thanks for being here.
The Southern Christmas Show is open daily through November 24th. Well, finally tonight, we're talking pom-poms. I don't even know where mine are anymore, but a group of Charlotte women use theirs regularly. My Boomer Generation correspondent, Bea Thompson, has a story that's bound to make you change your mind about how you view people and what they do in their lives.
During the day, they're regular office workers like Blanche Penn, making sure the kids have what they need at the Wallace Pruitt Recreation Center. But there is something different about these women, because when the work duties are over, they morph into something else.
All right, ladies, let's go.
Lacing up shoes, shedding those work clothes, these senior women become their own alter egos. Silver foxes.
Audience, are you ready? Foxes, are you ready? Well, drop them pom-poms in, because this is a serious matter.
Still hanging and kicking.
I'm sassy, I'm brassy, I'm past 65 and loving every moment of it.
A serious matter.
That's right. These women, all moms and several grandmoms, make up one of the most awarded senior cheerleading squads. And it all began with an idea from Blanche.
It started with senior games. And one thing about senior games, it started 55 and older, and you participate in different sports. Well, I did bowling and things of that nature, so, and basketball and things like that. But they had a cheerleading group, and I go like, okay, I'd like to start one.
No one can shake or rock.
Each woman brings her own personality and her own reason for wanting to be a silver fox, like Dorothy Graham, who found herself serving as a taxi for her grands.
Well, I was coming out here a couple of times, you know, to bring my grandkids because they have a lot going on here at the center. And I kept seeing them, you know, practicing and back there dancing. I kept going back there peeping at them, and I kept coming back, and I'm like, hey, I need to do that.
And then there's soft-spoken Mary Reeves.
Well, I've always been energetic. And in this stage of my life, I have seem like I have so much energy until I just want to get out and show other seniors that it can be done.
And the only previous cheerleader in the whole bunch, Shirley McNeil.
I was a cheerleader in high school.
Really?
And when Blanche was soliciting for cheerleaders, I was the first one.
You know, anybody can attempt to be a cheerleader, but if you're gonna be a true silver fox, you gotta be of a certain age.
62, 64, 65. I'm in the range.
77.
78.
Training to be a silver fox is no walk in the park either.
We had this other girl trying to show us how to do some cheers. She had us on the ground, laying back, trying to throw up our leg, and we say, no, we're not doing it with you.
For these ladies, being a silver fox has allowed them to stretch themselves, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally.
I was a little bit nervous, I was anxious, but I was really excited, and I was proud of myself that I could be a part of something that I feel to be beneficial to everyone, because we go out to different organizations, we perform, and we make people smile, we make them happy.
Sometimes my self-esteem, you know, was kind of down, you know, like just sitting on the couch. And since I've been coming out and getting excited, you know, like getting ready at the last minute, sometimes I be at work, I have to rush, and then I come out here, but I really enjoy it. It have done a lot for me.
We got to get some work done. Got a parade to do tomorrow. 5, 6, 7, 8. It's
so they
a
practice.
Shame how they sweat us. What happened? Purple and go. You
and they
sure
practice.
Good to me. Stop. Ella. Purple and go. You sure look good to me.
And they keep it up till they get it right, which has led to winning top honors, including first place at the statewide senior games. So what do people say about those silver foxes now?
My grandchildren called to me Mima. So they said, for real, Mima? You're a cheerleader. I said, for real. Wait till I get my uniform.
A lot of them laugh. and say, no. And then some of them say, oh, that's so cute. Look at them. I can't believe it. I want to be a silver fox when I grow up. Can I join? We say, of course you can.
My thing is don't stop. If you stop, you get old.
That's all I hear now. Here comes the silver fox, even at my church, silver fox. And I say, you know.
Just being here, you know, I get a lot out of it.
We ain't trying to babysit. We ain't trying to do none of that. Now, some of us babysit a little bit every now and then.
No one can shake or rock or move like we do.
But we're not supposed to sit down. We're supposed to stay active, don't you think?
Thanks so much, Bea. Ladies, keep shaking those pom-poms. Hopefully you're having a lot of fun and staying in shape. Something we all need to do a little more, shake our pom-poms. Well, before we leave you tonight, I'd like to thank the members of the Monroe Rotary in Union County for allowing me to speak to their club this week and for giving me so many great story ideas that our Carolina Impact crews will be working on soon. If you have any story ideas about the issues, people, or places that make our 13-county region so special, you can tell us by going to our Facebook page at facebook.com/WTVI Charlotte or on Twitter at WTVI. Your opinions are so important to us, so please send me your ideas. You can also friend me on Facebook at Amy Burkett. Well, we look forward to telling your stories in the future. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I hope to see you back here again next time on Carolina Impact. Good night.